You don't really notice when you're not headed where you wanted to go because each turn you take, well, you're still on the road. I always generally thought that I was on the right path, that as long as I was moving, I was progressing. And as long as I was progressing, there was nothing to question. I didn't really realize at the time that just because you're making forward progress doesn't mean you're moving forward in the right direction. In all aspects of life, we definitely miss turns or we get off too early. And the more we do that, the more excuses we make, and the harder it is to say, you know what, I'm going to turn back around and I'm going to get back on the road I was on. We end up saying where we're at is good enough, or where we're headed now is the right destination, or we'll find another way to get there. But how often do we really get a chance to come back in life, unlike on the highway where we can just take the next exit and turn back around? It's not as common, it's not as easy, and it's always easier to make an excuse on why where we are is enough than to say, okay, I need to take a step back or I need to return to where I was to get where I really want to go. And looking back, it wasn't really one wrong turn that led me astray. It was the continuation of saying, okay, it's just this one time, it's just this one turn that compiled into being completely off track. And it's designed that way, right? Like where the system is designed to tell us that, you'll never get back on track. You'll never be where you want to be, that settling is okay. And that's, you're on the road the whole time, so it doesn't feel like you've done anything wrong. It's just the new way, it's just the new destination. And I can't help but wonder how many wrong turns I made or how many times I got off on an exit early and just chose that this was the new path and that I'd get there eventually. I don't think that the one time, that last time that you do it is what ultimately says enough is enough and this is just who I am and this is where I am. I think it's a slow progression of saying enough is enough this one time that eventually leads to you just stop trying to get where you were actually trying to head to go. But I've come to realize that you can be on one road for your entire life and still never get where you want to go because you didn't have direction. You have to have an internal, a moral, an educated GPS to get you where it is that you want to be. And you can't get there without first getting the tools and resources that you need to accomplish that. We can say, oh, I want to be this or I want to be that. And we can start on that path in our minds without ever getting the vehicle that we need to get us there. We never will have everything we need to accomplish what we want. And then we find ourselves in this state of regret. We find this state of blame, whether it's internal or external. There's a reason why we didn't get there. Um, and even when the blame is internal, it's still an excuse. It's still saying, oh, if I had this or if I had done this, then things would be different. But we've always had that choice. And if we don't recognize that and actually embrace the mistakes that we made, if I didn't do that, I'd still be making the same wrong turns. And that's not to say that I won't make wrong turns in the future, that I won't get off on the wrong exit from time to time. That happens to all of us and it'll continue to happen to me too. But I embrace that now and I know that when that happens, that I have the strength or the tools or the resources necessary to make that U-turn and try again. Ultimately, I think that I always thought if I was moving, that I was headed in the right direction. And I never really took the time to separate the two. It's hard to do when you're always on, when you're always in the moment, when you're always with your foot on the gas. That space to recognize the time we need to decide, the observation of the patterns that we're in, that's all important to make sure that we're actually headed where we want to go.